Hello, everyone. Welcome back, and thank you for tuning in. If you're tuning in right now, I would like to know where you are tuning in from. And I decided to come and talk to you because the situation seems to be getting worse in Victoria, and by next week, it might get worse as well. We don't know, but I felt it'll be good to come and check on you guys. And we all miss our family and friends. So it's important to talk about this topic that I'm going to talk about today. I want to ask you this question. Do you love yourself? Please take a moment and ask yourself whether we love uh, ourselves at all. Sometimes we wait for other people to love us. Sometimes we say that you don't love me, you love me, and we always talk about other people. And if you reflect on today and think about the things that you thought, did you worry about others, or did you think about your mind and body? Our mind and body are interconnected. So whatever our physical body feels, our mental body feels as well. So physically, if you have poor health, then that can have a severe impact on our mental health. And similarly, if you have poor mental health, your physical health can get affected as well. So, happiness is something we all are entitled to. Even the United Nations adopted this resolution recognizing that the pursuit of happiness is a fundamental human goal. So, Paul Hewitt, the author of the book Perfectionism, talks about a nasty adult beating the crap out of a little child. Who is this nasty adult? It's us, aren't we? We always want to be perfect. So he talks about the adults cultivating this inner bully, and he says that we spend time cultivating this inner bully. That means we start criticizing ourselves for even for simple things, simple mistakes like dropping your teaspoon or missing a deadline. We Most of the time we try to give a hard time to ourselves. So I thought it's important not to give this hard time to ourselves, especially during this time, during this difficult time. And from today onwards, let's try and stop criticizing ourselves. So, how can we cultivate this self compassion or self love? Research says that if we cultivate self compassion, we'll be able to face adverse situations with a lot of strength. So, you will be in you will if even if you face trauma, breakup, embarrassment, or failure, if you have cultivated this self compassion or self love, you will try to resolve it. You will try to be okay. So what are the things that we can do to cultivate this self compassion or self love? First, we can try to listen to ourselves. This is something I try to practice every day. uh, in her book Self-Compassion by Professor Neff, asks her readers, what type of language do you use when you have flaws or when you see a mistake? So she says that most of the time we use a very harsh tone to ourselves, a tone that we don't use when we talk to others. So she says that we are harsher to ourselves, and it has a very bad impact on our health. So she says that it's important to replace this harsher voice with a compassionate voice. That's something we can do, and we can try to be kind to ourselves from today. So the first thing that we can do is listen to ourselves with a very compassionate voice. And the second thing that we can do is cultivating love habits. So how can we cultivate these love habits? Oscar Wilde once said, to love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong romance. Do you agree with me? If you can love yourself first, you will be able to have very long lasting relationships with others. Unless you love yourself, if you can't love yourself, you won't be able to love someone else. So happiness is not a destination. It should be practiced every single day. We have to try to be compassionate every single day. So by investing much time in nourishing ourselves with good thoughts, if you can practice meditation or mindfulness or healthy eating, some exercise, and healthy social interactions, you will be able to cultivate these love habits. So, what are my love habits? I was thinking, what are they? So, my love habits are 10 to 15 minutes walk when I'm free, and reading at least one chapter of a book that I love, and having social interaction with some positive colleagues. I'm really lucky that I have lots of positive colleagues and friends, and I love spending that time with them. And the third thing we can do is positive affirmations. So, according to mindvalley.com, it says that look at yourself in a mirror and say these things like a mantra every morning and every night before you go to bed. I'm worthy of love. I love myself beyond comprehension. I'm confident in my individuality. So it says that talk to yourself, think about yourselves, ask yourself whether you talk to yourself in this kind of a positive manner, or whether you always look at outside world and think what will happen to me, what's going to happen to me. So last week I heard one of my friends has COVID, and it really impacted me, and the whole day I couldn't eat or I couldn't sleep. And then I felt that my family can feel my family can feel what I'm going through, that stress that goes to them as well. So there are things that we take these stresses from outer world and we try to bring them home and we try to reflect on those things. That's normal. We go through those things every single day. But right now, when the situation is getting worse and the outer world doesn't seem to give us any hope, it's always important to look into yourself and look at yourself and try to love yourself, and that will help you to love everyone around you, and that's going to benefit everyone. I hope it's helpful to you. I hope all those tips will be helpful. So I will summarize what I talked today. The three tips we can do today is, first one is listening to yourself with a compassionate tone and cultivating love habits. And the last one is positive affirmations, talking to yourself in a positive manner. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. I hope to see you soon. Thank you. Bye.